Hey guys, Jessica Kobasi here. In today's video, I wanted to go over my tips for shooting events, such as weddings, engagements, baby showers, and stuff like that. I wanted to show you guys a couple pictures that I have taken for events, and these are everything from detail shots, getting photos of the floral arrangements, table decorations, especially centerpieces. People love pictures of their centerpieces because they are, first of all, paying a lot of money for them, and again, they put a lot of thought into them. They pick them out, they spend their time with the florist and picking out every single detail, so yeah, they do want a picture of that to remember. I went from doing senior pictures and baby pictures to doing engagements and weddings, so I think I've kind of developed my own strategies, my own certain guidelines that have really helped me enormously with events, because there are certain things you should and should not do. A lot of people think shooting an event, you go, you take pictures of people and you leave. It's really not like that, and if that's your mindset, then you're going to run into a lot of problems. So here are my tips for event photography. The first thing I would say is to always meet up with your clients beforehand. I don't care if it's for just a simple family photo session, you have to meet up with each and every client. Now, there's a lot of different reasons why, but the most important one is that one-on-one communication, so they kind of get an idea of the person you are and you get an idea of the person they are. You also go over things that they expect, you go over things that they will receive and will not receive, especially, introducing a contract. That's also important. But again, the number one thing is just communication between the two parties in person. Over text and over call, all that stuff could get lost in translation. Things could be misread. Sometimes things are taken out of context. There's a miscommunication, and that can cause a lot of problems. So when you meet in person, you can kind of put everything out on the table, and it's face to face. You can't hide behind words, and you know how people get confident behind text messages and then start getting really mean. Yeah, you just kind of avoid all that and just meet with them. And also make sure that if you are doing a wedding or an engagement, that the bride is always present. I don't care if the groom is like, oh, I'll meet up with you. No, just say no. Just say that your fiance has to be there, because the bride is going to be your number one client. She's the one you're going to want to essentially, yeah, the guy is important too, but I'm sorry, it is all about the bride. Usually the bride knows what she wants and she has an idea in her head. It is her wedding at the end of the day as well. The bride is usually the one who's planning everything and picking everything out. Not saying this goes for all weddings, I'm just saying most of them, at least the ones that I do. So meeting with the bride is essential. You have to do it. If you don't meet with the bride, there will be problems, I promise you. Don't do text, don't do calling, just meet up with her in person. If you can't meet up with her, there's Skype. You probably could do a phone call too. Just talk to them and make sure that you guys are both on the same page. Now here's another one. The day before the event, always communicate with your client. So send them a text message or a call and be like, hey, just wanted to confirm about tomorrow at this time. Just like a friendly reminder. What I always do is the day before I text them, and then the day of I text them, I just see how things are going a couple hours before, and we just kind of update each other, and that's always worked out for me. Another thing is to be patient. Things are going to go wrong. People are going to be late. I'm sorry, but it's out of your control. No matter if you have a contract in place or not, on engagements and weddings, things are bound to go wrong. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the event. So I feel like being patient and being understanding is really the way to go. I know that we like to be on time. We wake up early in the morning, we get all our stuff together so we can be there on time, and maybe you're going to be waiting around for an hour, but you do not want to be the added stress to the bride or the groom's day, because they will remember that, and trust me, it's not going to look good on you. The thing to remember with weddings especially, if people are late or you're running, off schedule, it's out of your hands. You can't make things go faster, you can't make things go slower. You can help, maybe you can speed it up 10 minutes, but essentially it's out of your hands. Just let whatever's going to happen. And again, I hate when people are late. I'm the number one person who gets annoyed when people are late. But at the end of the day, you have to be understanding, especially if it is an engagement. Makeup artists made to take forever, and the dress might come late, stuff like that. So just try to be as patient as possible. I'm not asking you to allow someone to be 2 hours late. I'm just asking you to be understanding and just patient. Trust me, it's totally understandable. If someone's 3 hours late, yeah, I would be annoyed too. Just do what you can. If someone is late, obviously that plays into their day and what you're able to do, the capabilities. Offer solutions only when necessary. Remember that it's the client's day, not yours. Be kind. You do not want to be a part of anything that might upset your client on their special day. Help carry the dress, if possible. Offer to hold something. Just be there for your client as a friend. Another important thing is to talk to your clients. I know a lot of photographers who simply go, they take pictures and they leave. I feel like when you engage your clients, you talk to them, you make them laugh, then they're more comfortable around you, and then the pictures come out more natural, because then, it's kind of like you're one of their friends. You're hanging around and having fun, so they don't see it as like okay, pose, this and that, you know what I mean? So they're less tense. So when you approach them as more of a friend that's taking their photos, it's less pressure on the clients to, pose the right way. Even if my jokes are corny, I still say them, like, why did the chicken cross the road? Like, who even knows? I don't know, but I love chickens, so. Clients pick out decorations and details at their weddings very thoughtfully, so of course they're going to want a picture of it. Detail shots are very important. Sometimes I'll take like a half hour just doing detail shots of the whole entire hall. And always test your lighting before your client walks out, because you don't want to be in the position where you're testing lighting while they're walking out, because they can't really redo that. Here is one of the most important things, one of the most important tips that I can give you guys. And trust me, if you don't abide by this, then it's really not gonna, it's only a matter of time before you're gonna start running into problems. Never say no to a friend or a family member who asks you for a photo. I don't care what the reason is, you never say no. And here's why. The second that you say no, that puts something very negative about you in that person's head. And that person was invited personally by the bride and the groom. So essentially, you may be upsetting a family member. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be in that position where, what if that was the groom's brother and you told them no? And so the groom's brother goes up to him and says, oh my God, your photographer just refused to take a picture of me. So it could just mean a lot of problems for you. People are going to start talking about you, and trust me, it will happen. So here's what you do if you are in the situation where you really can't take the picture but someone's asking you. Instead of saying no, like straight up, no, I'm not going to take your picture, all you have to do is, if someone comes up to you during a bad time, you're taking pictures of the bride and the groom with their family members, and someone else comes up to you, all you have to do is just tell them, hey, give me a couple moments, I'm so sorry. The bride and the groom just want a couple family pictures, and then we can get a photo of you. That's all you have to say. You don't have to say, no, I'm not going to take it right now. No, we're only doing family pictures. That's the worst thing that you could do. Honestly, that is the worst possible thing that you could do, is say no while you're being paid to take pictures. And yes, these people are not your clients, but guess what? Sometimes it doesn't really matter, because the talk of what's going on at the event will negatively impact your business and your reputation. So is pleasing your client the only thing that you want to do? The thing about events is that, yes, the bride and the groom are your clients, but their guests are also kind of your clients too. You want them to have a good experience with you. If they like the bride and the groom's pictures, maybe they can be like, hey, remember that really nice photographer who took a picture of us? Maybe we can get her business card and she can take our engagement pictures. So it's kind of like good business all around if you are nice to everyone and you just cooperate with everyone. I've had instances where people were physically pulling me to take pictures, but you just have to be extremely patient, and this is really where patience comes into this, because if you're not patient, then there's only so much you can do in this business. But again, being patient is just one of those things you have to it's like a key element to event photography. People want a picture of their family, a picture of their mom and their dad, and their mom and their dad and their brother, and their mom and their dad and their brother and their sister. It's not your job to call which pictures can be taken and which cannot be taken, because again, it's your job to just take pictures. When I am taking pictures, I do focus on my clients and not so much the people around them. I look for immediate family members, especially when people are dancing. I do take pictures of everyone else, but I know that my bride and groom always ask me to get immediate family shots and close friends and family. I guarantee you that people will talk about you after the event or even during the event. And this can be a good thing and this could be a bad thing, and it's really up to you to determine how that's going to be. If you're smiling and you're cooperative and you're, nice and you take whatever pictures they want, they're going to be so happy with you, and they're just, wow, your photographer's so nice. Thank you so much for that pic. I had a guy pinch my cheek once. That's how happy he was that I took his picture. But I've heard a lot of horror stories about those who refuse to take pictures or those who are rude, and we all get in those moods where we're kind of annoyed. Trust me, I'm human, it happens to me too. You can't let it show. You have to just go on with your day and just do your job. You're there to take pictures and, you know, just do your thing. You have to remember, people will talk about their experience taking a photo with you. Whether it's one group picture, whether it's an actual photo shoot, people will talk about their experience with you, and you always want it to be a good one. Another good tip is to take more than one group photo, because the first one may be blurry. People might be blinking. If you have more than one person in a picture, then a lot of people tend to blink at different times. So you always want to take more than one picture so you have a good picture to choose from where everyone's eyes are open. Make sure to get immediate family photos first and foremost. This is the most important thing to the bride and the groom. They always want pictures of their mom and dad, siblings, immediate family like their siblings and their mom and dad, and then grandparents, aunts and uncles, friends that are very dear to them, and then you can take as many group pictures as you want. But I always knock out the family pictures first, because in the event that, you know, they're dancing and things get off schedule, then at least we always have the family pictures. Never lose your cool. If you feel agitated, just take a breather, you know, take a little break, and just remember that the day eventually will come to an end. It's not like people are asking you to do something that's out of your, you know, job description, like, oh, can you make me a cake? Can you set up my lights? No, they're asking you just to take a picture. And if that's the worst thing that you have to do, then that's pretty awesome, because taking a group picture is really not that bad. You stand, you take a photo. And I mean, as photographers, we know it's really more than that, but if that's like the hardest thing that we have to do, group photos or taking a picture that someone asks us to, that's really not a big deal at all. So those are my tips. Good luck out there for events, and thank you guys so much for watching. Say photography, please.
Photography.